Good evening, everyone. My name is Dominic Ellis-Peckham and I'm the musical director of London Oriana Choir. Well, at this time of year, normally we would be in St James's Piccadilly for what are very well-known concerts, two in fact, and we're delighted to say that normally they're sold out. Well, we hope that in a virtual way on the internet we are sold out this evening because we are bringing you a very special concert to make up for the fact that we can't meet in person and perform in person. We had been due to film in St James's for you last Friday, but with the recent enhancement of restrictions, that simply wasn't possible. But we are so excited to be bringing you a very special concert because we thought ahead and in September recorded some Christmas music just for you. There's wonderful things ahead this evening, including the second ever broadcast of a brand new piece by Eric Whitacre, which we were delighted to perform and record for him and the Maggie's Cancer Charity earlier this season. But to kick off, our first of two virtual performances this evening by Sally Beamish, In the Stillness.
When I was living in Scotland, I used to attend a writers' group in Stirling. And one evening after the class, another member of the group, Katrina Shepherd, a poet, handed me a folded sheet of paper and said, "Have a look at this and see if you think it might work to set to music." And it was the beautiful poem In the Stillness. It just happened that I'd been asked to contribute a carol to a collection that the composer Giles Swain was putting together, and so it was absolutely perfect. And the music was very much inspired by having worked with the King's Singers just before that. And I was thinking very much in terms of a cappella singing. So I hope you enjoy it, In the Stillness.
Be the light. Be the light in my darkness. Be the peace in my soul. Be the source of all goodness. Be my life. Be my goal. Be the light for my journey. Be the love in my heart. Be the hope that surrounds me. Every day a new start. Be the light that's unchanging through our suffering and our pain. Be the light that brings healing through our love once again. Be the light of compassion. Be the grace to befriend the lost and the lonely, every day to the end. Be the light of forgiveness. Be the blessings we share. Be the world's transformation through our kindness and care. Be the light of a new dawn. Be the thanks that I give for the joy of each moment, every day that I live.
I hope you enjoyed that beautiful piece by Benjamin Britten, A Hymn to the Virgin, recorded and filmed in St John's Waterloo, as I said earlier, in September, with just 40 of our singers from London Oriana Choir. There's much more still to come with some very special guests, but I mentioned earlier the wonderful collaboration we were invited to be part of with Maggie's, a UK cancer charity. The broadcast was last Sunday, the 13th of December, and it's available by accessing their details on Facebook and Twitter. You can also look at it on the Classic FM Facebook pages, so do find those bits of information and enjoy the whole concert and support and donate to this incredible charity. We were very, very honoured to be part of a huge lineup of wonderful artists: Lulu, Roderick Williams, Olivia Yeagers, Sue Perkins, to name but a few. But perhaps the centrepiece for us was the chance to record a brand new piece commissioned by Maggie's, Eric Whitacre's The Perfect Gift.
Hi, I'm Eric Whitacre. I'm a composer and conductor living in Los Angeles, and I'm tremendously honored to be with all of you here tonight. Maggie's asked me to write a piece for the concert, and I thought a lot about what I wanted to say. Ultimately, I came upon this idea of the perfect gift. And I think in a typical year, the perfect gift is a present that we look for and we buy, we order, we wrap it up, we give it. It just feels to me this year that the perfect gift is simply being connected with those that we love. And so that's what the piece is about. It's about just taking the time to call upon someone if you can, but this year it seems like that's nearly impossible. We'll be all isolated as we do this. So really just call someone up, being connected, and cherish those moments that we have together. For me, that's the true spirit of Christmas, and that's what this piece is all about. Tonight's the world premiere, and I humbly submit for your approval, The Perfect Gift.
A South London Christmas by Marcel Bruno. 'Twas 5 days till Christmas in a South London school. The kids were excited, all full of misrule. The teachers were tired and feeling quite wrought, with a play to perform and an Ofsted report. But none were more busy than quiet Miss Jones, who always helped out with never a moan. From sewing the costumes to building the sleigh, she kept the spirit of Christmas alive in each day. She made a collection to help refugees, but all the donations were tins of green peas. She'd driven the choir to sing to the old, returned with a puncture and a jolly bad cold. And when the school rabbit had died in the night, from eating the tinsel and the Christmas tree lights, Miss Jones had jumped in with no hesitation, replacing the bunny before registration. And though no one thanked her or really mucked in, she never complained and she never gave in. To her, Christmas was special, a time to install hope in your heart and goodwill to all. It was the night of the play in a South London school. The students had written a modern-day Yule. The actors were ready, the parents were in. Harry Potter the Hanukkah Fairy begins. Archangel Beyoncé walks on to say, Mary is pregnant by Gandalf the Grey, and the child that is resting inside Mary's bump will save all the sinners from the evils of Trump. Then as hobbits all Brexit from Middle-earth, Mary and Frodo prepare to give birth. And so the school play unfolds to delight. Miss Jones of the donkey gets the laugh of the night. Yet as soon as it's over, Miss Jones feels quite lost. No one's waiting to meet her apart from Jack Frost. The hills of her hometown feel so far away, the sound of the church bells upon Christmas Day. Then just as she looks for her keys in the dark, a woman runs over to where she is parked. I hope you don't mind, I won't take a while, she says to Miss Jones with a very big smile. You may not remember, I hope that you do, you taught me way back in 2002. I'm a teacher myself now of kids hurt by the war. We're making such leaps where there wasn't before, and I wanted to tell you that all that I do is only because my teacher was you. I really don't have enough words to say, but thank you, Miss Jones. I thank you each day. And then with a big hug, the woman was gone, leaving Miss Jones all alone with her donkey ears on. She got into her car full of books yet to mark and sat for a moment quite still in the dark. A tear may have twinkled, but no one could see, and she smiled to herself as she turned the car key. Hark, the Herald sang on Radio 2. Merry Christmas, said Miss Jones. Merry Christmas to you.
We must sing and say therefore.
Well, I hope you are feeling Christmassy. We're certainly doing our best here at London Oriana Choir. I hope you enjoyed the music so far, but there is still so much more to come. Now, the COVID pandemic has had an absolutely horrendous effect on lives and livelihoods across the world, and in particular, the arts and creative industries. Normally at this time of year, London Oriana Choir would be enjoying our most popular concerts and indeed a chance to earn much needed money so that we can work forwards and develop our artistic plans for the future, and in particular support so many professional artists and musicians, composers, and over the last 5 years, composers from our 515 initiative. We are looking forward one day to a great big grand finale to the 515 initiative. We've had competitions and commissions, but we look forward to recordings and a great big gala concert. But of course, all that costs money. So tonight we are appealing to you. If you have enjoyed what you've heard tonight, and if you've been enjoying our ways of broadcasting to you online during this incredibly tough year, then please consider donating whatever you can to the London Oriana Choir so that we can continue our wonderful work supporting arts professionals, supporting venues, composers, and everyone in this very struggling industry. Thank you.
The angel Gabriel from heaven came, his wings as drift snow, his eyes as flame. All hail, Saint he, the lowly maiden Mary, most highly favoured Lady, Gloria. For now the blessed woman thou shalt be, all generations
'Twas a very strange Christmas, and all through the town people wore masks that covered their frown. The frown had begun way back in the spring, when a global pandemic changed everything. They called it Corona, but unlike the beer, it didn't bring good times, it didn't bring cheer. Contagious and deadly, this virus spread fast, like a wildfire that starts when fueled by gas. Airplanes were grounded, travel was banned, borders were closed across air, sea and land. As the world entered lockdown to flatten the curve, the economy halted and folks lost their verve. From March to June we rode the first wave. People stayed home, they tried to behave. When summer emerged, the lockdown was lifted, but away from caution, many folks drifted. Now it's December, and cases are spiking. Wave 2 has arrived, much to our disliking. Frontline workers, doctors and nurses try to save people from riding in hearses. This virus is awful, this COVID-19. There isn't a cure, but now a vaccine. It's true that this year has had sadness aplenty. We'll never forget the year 2020. And just round the corner, the holiday season. But why be merry? Is there even one reason? To decorate the house, put up the tree, when no one will see it, no one but me. But outside my window, the snow gently falls. I think to myself, let's deck the halls. So I gather the ribbon, the garland and bows. As I play those old carols, my happiness grows. Christmas isn't cancelled, and neither is hope. If we lean on each other, I know we can cope.
Well, that's it. We are almost at the end of tonight's concert. Thank you so much for watching. You can still view this concert by accessing it the way you did. So share these details with friends and family all over the world and have a chance to feel Christmassy throughout this festive period. I want to thank everyone in the choir who have been so passionate and so dedicated during this time apart. I want to thank our amazing team of directors and everyone who have made tonight possible. Cecilia McDowall, our very special guest, the wonderful Eric Whitacre, to Maggie's, and of course to Anna Disley-Simpson, our current composer in residence turned videographer and arranger and editor. We hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. We know that for so many of you it might be quite an isolated Christmas, but we hope we've brought you some choral cheer and some musical magic tonight. So wherever you are, stand up and get involved in this final carol, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Happy Christmas, everyone, and we all hope for a very peaceful and prosperous 2021. Bye-bye and thank you.